I get it. It might feel overwhelming and frustrating putting together an Atmos spatial audio mix, especially if you think you don't have what's required. But it doesn't have to. Are you ready for a tiny bit of a mind shift? Easily done, not hard. And the impact on your fans' listening experience is more than astonishing. And that extra 10% Apple Music streaming royalty and priority playlisting consideration are not bad either. I am Pat, and I have mixed in Atmos iconic records like Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly and Feel Like Making Love, and in this video I will walk you through my Atmos mixing process step by step, explaining the how and why I do certain things so that you can then selectively apply to your own work. Stop feeling overwhelmed and start releasing your music in gorgeous Atmos spatial audio. We'll cover the obvious stuff like where to pan things or how to use immersive reverbs for glue, but the real secret, if you will, I will discuss a little later in the video. I'm at the studio now working on this song. This mix will be released in Atmos, by the way. And at the Living Room Studios, we have a 914 setup, but don't sweat it. If you're just starting out on your immersive audio journey, this can be done with just a pair of regular headphones and a laptop with a Dolby Atmos enabled DAW. Okay, where do we start? And this is an important part. This is before I even open the DAW. I first look at all my project notes. Stuff I discussed with the artist or the producer, what they're looking for the mix to accomplish, their vision for the mix and the release. Then I import all the audio in a session using my relevant template. Quick side note, this song was already in the queue to be mixed for Atmos, so what you see in the video is an earlier version of my Logic Pro external renderer template, which already has the routing, tracks, and some other details pre-configured and ready to go. The latest version of the template, and there's one available for Logic's internal Atmos renderer as well, also has some very handy built-in automations, which is such a time saver when you want to try stuff out. Anyways, both templates are launching very soon. I'll put a link for the waitlist in the description so you can get early notification and an exclusive launch discount. So, having imported the audio, I do a sort of inventory of what is available, like how many different guitar tracks do I have, how many synths, that kind of stuff. After checking all audio needed is there and plays okay with no errors, it is time to make sure everything is organized and pretty. Everything named properly, color-coded, added to the appropriate folder stack, then I add icons to my folders, people. And you can mock me, but I like it. And ready to listen to the stereo mix or a rough whatever is available. I always do that while looking at the lyrics of the song at the same time to make sure the story connects, relates. And I take notes. Stream of consciousness first, whatever comes to mind as I'm listening. For example, for this song, it's the wobbly feel that is coupled with the driving beat, and then the contrast when the steady bass line with those eighth notes comes in, and how that contrasts with the long and interestingly syncopated vocal line of the first verse. And this whole part, before I even start doing anything to the audio, is for me perhaps the most important part of the whole process, the secret, the foundation of everything that is to come, so to say. Do not underestimate the importance of connecting with the music at a different level. Only then will you be able to also connect with the listener. Music is just a magical art. Okay, so I go through the whole song once, then listen again, and this time I start sending stuff places. My general approach is to use an object bed, which you can think of as objects in specific locations that are not moving. Those are all the sounds that would craft the foundation of my mix. Then I use objects for anything that would require movement, stuff that I can move around, and use the bed, which you can think of as the main space. Okay? So I use that for immersive reverbs, delays, and other effects that are both my special effects, but most importantly, my glue. Not really a fan of immersive bus compression, but that is for another video. So now that our session is organized, let's start placing elements in our three-dimensional space. Make sure you have your headphones on since you will be listening in binaural through YouTube. Though now that I think about it, I should have made this available in Eclipse Audio for immersive audio on YouTube, but maybe I will do that with the next mix deep dive video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to. Quick note here, I always mix for speakers. Speakers are what does not change. Binaural algos change all the time. Apple Spatial today has nothing to do really with the Apple Spatial of last year. A speaker mix will always be the same. I won't base my mixing decisions on something that changes so often. At least though, all these binaural algos do get better. Okay, so let's take a look at the session. Here is the stereo master. Play a little bit of it.
The vulture indeed.
So let's take a look at the session. We got our drums, bass, guitars electric, guitars acoustic, lead vocals, and background vocals. They're all nicely put in folder stacks. And there is a summing stack here and there. For example, the kick here, if you see, it has three microphones. So these are all in a summing stack. So here are the three kick mics. Let's see what we did here. Okay, so, I have a gain plugin here. Let's see what it does. Nothing, should be off. It is here to check the phase between the three kick sounds, right? Make sure everything is in phase so we don't get cancellation of the low frequencies. So I'm sending these. Let's see where these go. These go out of bus 2, which is the summing stack. Here's the input here, and they go into a distressor and Pultec for a little bit of grit and body, and sending that out to the front bed and to the center, just a little bit to the center, just to give a little bit of extra oomph and a little bit of detail to the kick through the center speaker. I like doing that. So let's hear it a little bit here. So then going to the snare, a little bit of processing on this one here. Let's see what the snare does. First of all, let's just hear it by itself. Where is it? Right here. A little bit of the stressor. Again, the Pultec. A little bit of plate. And taking the gain down a little bit. We've added all this gain, so I want to control it a little bit before I get into my fader. And sending this again to my front bed, which you see the toms, tom and floor tom, those are also sent to the front. And the only thing that I have on the toms is the closest thing I can get in a plugin form to the Aphex 204, which just gives it this doom. Let me find a spot where the toms play. Let's try here. So here's my hi-hat and the overheads, two overheads, and then a mono room. And here's the very cool little thing. The mono room is panned to the rear, which is where that microphone was placed. Let's hear the whole drums by itself here. Without the mono room, with so these are our drums. Our bass, the processing is on the summing bus, but I have 3 bass sounds here. Let's try this part. This is my ready. I love this. I love the low end on this. This is the Red DI by A Designs. Here is Le Bass. And Le Bass with the cab simulation turned on. Which is really cool. Together with the Le Bass, with the instance of Le Bass with just a little bit of overdrive. And adding the Red DI. Guitars. Electric guitars first. Let's see what we have. We have some arpeggios here. And I'm sending these to the mid surrounds. So left, right. See what else. We have chugs. This pair goes to the top rears. Just building textures. Next pair This is in the wides. You can see them here in the render. This pair goes to the mids. Next pair goes to the rears. Again, I'm building textures with these, right? These are all different takes. So I have a large amount of decorrelation, meaning these are different. They're not the same that would sound like a big mono thing. And here's one more guitar that basically goes to the center, so I can have that pinpointing function, so it ties the whole thing together. Let's listen to them all together. There's a main riff. Let's see. So this I have going to the mid, but I am also sending it to my 714 hall. So that main guitar sound is all around you. Without the verb. With the 714 verb. Now there's an outro section. Okay, so that's a melody line for the end. Let's listen one by one and see where did we put that. So one of the guitars is in the center, the other one is in the rear, and the other one is in the rear again. Left rear, right rear. So I'm making this type of triangle thing. Let's listen to them and I'll show you in the render. Right? Makes sense? So these are for the outro guitars. And here is special effects. Which I'm sending out the stereo bus, so I have to change that. Basically, I'll do no output, and I use my sends, and here are all my options, right? So these, I'm gonna send them out the front, and let me send the full amount to. I'm doing it this way, so if I want to send something somewhere else as well, just a little bit maybe to the back or something like that, then I can do that. I can do that through the sends, and I don't have to do other tracks to use other outputs and all that. So here's another one. Again, stereo out. So let's see what this is. Okay, so this is a reversed a sound. So what I want to do with this is I will send it to the rear. What am I doing? No. Here. Send. Rear, not the output. Let's see. And some more stuff here. This is for the ending, and this just go to the front because we are like collapsing everything, coming out of a big chorus at the end. Then everything again collapses to the two front speakers. And fades out. All right. So these were our guitars. Did I forget? I think I forgot to talk about the chugs we did, the arpeggios we did. Oh, we didn't talk about the power chords. Okay, so here are some power chords. Let's do the... You see how the arrangement builds here? Certain things are added depending on the section of the song. So let's play these where all the parts are in. Let's start with this. These are coming out of the front and of the wides. Okay, so I'm getting some really wide power guitars. Let's listen. And again, left, right, left, right, left, right, the fronts, left, right, the wides. So a lot of distortion here. The beat is driving in the back, but I wanted something more percussive to ride the wave of the last chorus. And what a better thing than some acoustic guitars there at the end. Now I'm sending those to the top rear. Okay, left and right. Right, so let's hear it in the mix. So without. With. Just adds a lot, in my opinion, to the final chorus. There's some more acoustic guitars here for the bridge. Any processing on these? Just on these two, I have the Aphex, just to give it a little bit of that sparkle. So these have been our guitars and acoustic guitars, and we're gonna look at the background vocals. Let's play this section here. What are we doing with the background vocals? We're basically sending everything to the wides, the mids. So let's hear it. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye of the spiral. And something that I'm actually see, I'm sending some to the center and the front. This is a whisper track, which I love doing when I'm recording lead vocals, because it adds a lot of shine and passion to a vocal without touching any cue. It's very subtle, but listen for it. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye of the spiral. Love it. And last but not least, and should have been first, the lead vocal. This is a separate bridge section and the actual lead vocal. And what I'm doing with the lead vocal is I have just a little bit of a cue here, a little brightness up top, and cutting the low end, and adding a little bit of LA2 on this, just for the texture, not really to control the dynamics. I've controlled this on the way in, right? And then I'm sending this to the front, and I'm sending a little bit to the top front, so you can, feel the vocal. Subtle, but it makes a difference. And I'm also sending a little bit to the rear. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye of the spiral. The reverbs have been printed on this, so I am using that. By adding it to the back, I get that reverb there, and I haven't added any more 714 reverb. I tried it, but it wasn't working. And anything else, some delays. There's tape echo on the vocal from the RE201. Let's listen to it in the mix. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. Let's listen without the top front. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. In the eye of the spiral. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this, and it actually works really, really good. I wanted to get a little bit of that lead vocal spread a little more than what I've already done. So I'm actually sending just a bit to the Eventide micro pitch immersive. So I'm splitting it to all these different areas. Front, the surrounds. I will dive. It is mine now. Actually, what I'm gonna do, let's take it out of the front
and leave the surrounds. The LFE is muted, but I want to get it down anyway. And I'll leave it in all these other areas. Okay. And the top fronts, yeah, let me just leave it there and see what it does. Let's see.
In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye of this.
Yeah, I like it. You know what it does? It glues it a little bit with the background vocals. And to take things a step further, I'm adding a little bit of this monster, just a tiny bit, and I'll play it by itself. But listen to the vocal with and without it, and you'll understand what it does.
In the eye of the spiral, in the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye of the.
Did you hear it? Okay, let's listen to the vocal by itself.
In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now, mine now. In the eye.
Okay, so sounds great on speakers, but what is going on in headphones?
In the eye of the spiral, I will dive.
Okay, I'm going to adjust just a touch my bass, maybe about a dB.
In the eye of the spiral.
Lowered it just a little bit before it goes into the compressor. And if you noticed, I did not touch the VCA to lower these down. I did it from the individual tracks. There's a reason. I'll show you in a second. So let me show you this also really quick. I've automated the extra special delay stuff, the slapper, to go in for the last two choruses, so we can give an extra little salt and pepper to the sound, right?
You make me alive. In the eye of the spiral, I will dive. It is mine now.
So I will not show you all the automation stuff. I'm going to go in and do the automation. You will be bored out of your mind to look through all the automation moves. It takes a long time. Not really made for a YouTube video, but you get the point. You get the general idea of what I'm trying to do with this particular section of the song and the song in general. But there is one more thing. Let's play the song through. I will fast forward it. So, minus 15.7. That is far away from minus 18, which is our spec. We are at minus 1.9 through peak, which is pretty good, especially with all this transient information in there. But we've tamed it. So we need to get that to minus 18. Let's get all these guys, and we're going to lower them by about 3 dB. And play the song again.
Mix is sounding pretty good. Time to export it and apply the QC process, which includes conforming to the client, Dolby, and the distributor DSP spec, but also making sure the mix translates well on various playback devices. Now I will send this to the client or a bandmate to get feedback, make any adjustments as needed, and finally submit it for upload to the distributor platform, and from there to Apple Music, Amazon Music HD, Tidal, and all other Atmos-enabled streaming services globally. And if this was not enough, or if you are still sober, as a viewer so kindly commented on another video, you can watch this Atmos mix deep dive right over here.